Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Jam Bets NFL Divisional Playoff episode. I am Tike, joined as always by the all-knowing Momma Mia. So we're gonna go through all of the divisional games for the second round of the playoffs. Before we jump into that, we'll do a quick recap of what we gave out and went over for the wild card. Uh, Mamma Mia over here absolutely crushed the spreads. She went 5 of 6. I went 4 of 6. We both had Carolina to cover the 10.5 points. We both had Buffalo to win by more than a point and a half. Mamma Mia called the 49ers to cover or she took the points, the 5.5. I thought the Eagles were going to win that. We both had the Patriots to win by more than 3.5. And then we both had the Texans losing to the Steelers. And then we both had the Bears money line against the Packers. Easily the game of the week. Gave out some players as well. Gave out Coker on the Panthers. Gave out Josh Allen. Josh Allen was quarterback 2 last week behind Jordan Love. So let's jump right into the divisional matchup. So got some games on 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. First game on Saturday is 4:30 p.m. kickoff Eastern Time, 3:30 Central. Buffalo Bills versus Denver Broncos. NFL is starting. I mean, there's no bad games here. Buffalo Bills are the underdog. Buffalo Bills are getting a 1.5 going into Denver. Mamma Mia, what are you seeing here? What are you thinking?
So Buffalo's favored, right?
Denver is favorite.
Oh, okay. Well, I got Buffalo winning, so I think Buffalo should be favored. um, I just think there's a couple of things here. You know, James Cook has got to run for more than 46 yards. That's a fact. I do believe the tight ends Knox and Kincaid are going to have a bigger game. The wild card here is Bo Nix. He's either hot or he's cold, but he can turn it on in the second half like our guy Caleb. So he's the one. If they can bottle him up somehow, because I think Buffalo will score on that very good defense. But I look at these 2 coaches. Sean Payton is ready. If the Broncos are behind, look for some trick plays. I don't have as much confidence in Sean McDermott. I think he's been dancing and going to the playoffs a lot and just not getting it done. You surely can't blame Josh Allen for that. I mean, he lets everything on the line. He's a little banged up, I think, too, but that doesn't seem to bother him. So I am going to go with Buffalo because I think they feel like they are on a mission this year because there's no Lamar, there's no Patrick Mahomes in their way. So, but I think it'll be a close game. I'm saying Buffalo will win 24-20. That's what I'm predicting. So I guess Buffalo covers then, huh? Yeah.
Well, you're taking Buffalo to win the game?
Win.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Okay. I think Buffalo can get the win here. I would take Buffalo with the points just to be safe. I know it's only a 1.5. I think Josh Allen and, as you mentioned, McDermott. I think McDermott's coaching for his job. If he loses here, he's out. He's coaching for his job. I think he's a little bit of a player's coach. I think his players are going to do everything they can to get him the win. But Josh Allen, he's just too superior. So in the last 18 games Josh Allen's played, he has 3+ touchdowns. In the past 18 games, Josh Allen has 2+ touchdowns, either passing or rushing. The Broncos play a lot of man coverage. They play man coverage almost 40% of all defensive plays. Josh Allen, he's not great passing the ball against man coverage. In fact, Josh Allen only has one passing touchdown in his past 3 games. But Josh Allen he runs the ball pretty dang well against man coverage. Against man coverage in his 184 dropbacks, Josh Allen only has 13 rush attempts, but he's 165 yards and a touchdown. You're not playing a whole lot of man coverage at the goal line either. I think Cooks can maybe get some rushing yards, but Josh Allen is not giving that ball up in the goal line, in the green zone. He's taking that ball, and he's going to make sure he scores a touchdown. If he hands that ball off and they don't get it done, he's not even taking that risk. Josh Allen is going to keep that ball in his possession. I'm taking the Bills. I'm going to take the plus 1.5 points for the Bills. I did want to note that Shakir last game, Shakir had 12 targets and 12 receptions, both career highs. He only had 82 yards, but Josh Allen really seemed to have found their groove there together. So I'm taking the Bills to cover I'm taking the Bills with the points. All right, and then moving on to the second game of Saturday, NFC West Division game, San Francisco going into Seattle. So San Francisco, pretty big underdog. They are a touchdown underdog. They are getting 7 points. Mamma Mia, what are you seeing for the San Francisco versus Seattle game?
I think Seattle's gonna win pretty handily here. I'm going Seattle 24-10.
24-10.
Yeah, I think Seattle has their number. In Week 18, they shut down Purdy. San Francisco only scored 3 points, and this defense is red hot. San Francisco is very banged up. Kittle is out now. You're gonna expect Purdy to carry this team. To be honest, if they win, it's gonna be him, because I do expect Seattle to focus on stopping McCaffrey. Last time they played, he had 8 carries for 23 yards. He caught 6 or 7 targets for 34 yards. They stopped him. So with Kittle out, Tonjes is the backup. He's decent. He's decent. Could they do it? There's another guy who might be playing for his job is Shanahan. And he keeps going and going and going to the playoffs, and they're not getting anywhere. Although many times they're just such a banged up team, and they've done so well this year. I just think Seattle is, but I would love to see San Francisco win and come back to Chicago. I would love to see that. But the quarterback, Darnold, is also a little banged up. He's questionable now. I don't understand that, and I didn't look up who the backup quarterback is, but he's 99% going to play. But I think they're just going to run the ball and let their defense take care of business against San Francisco. Is how I'm feeling this one. I can't see San Francisco. They played lights out against Philadelphia, but Philadelphia isn't what we thought they were. So I think Seattle is the real deal. So that's what I'm going with.
Yeah. See, so Drew Lock is the backup, but I don't expect him to see the field unless some sort of injury. I'm torn on this game. I know Seattle put the screws to the 49ers in that Week 18 for the number 1 seed, which was obviously a must win, and Seattle embarrassed the San Francisco 49ers. That was never a game. San Francisco only scored 3 points, as you mentioned. I think Seattle should win this game by more than a touchdown. These teams play each other frequently. I think you might be looking at my notes. I had Jake Tonges written down as my wild card as well. Seattle has struggled against the tight end. They've allowed the 6th most receiving yards per game, and the 4th most receptions per games to tight ends. And while Kittle was out, Tongs was he was more than serviceable. He had 4 receptions in each game, and I think 35 plus yards in each game. So I could see him getting the ball being featured here. I'm very torn on this game. Sam Darnold, on paper, he is matches up extremely well against San Francisco's main defenses. San Francisco runs a lot of zone, cover 3, and cover 4. Sam Darnold has 109 passer rating so far this season against those 2 defenses. I'm taking San Francisco as the underdog. I'm taking them with the points. I don't think they lose by more than a touchdown in this game. I think they are maybe a little bit more motivated than Seattle from the embarrassment that they received last time they played. I think they have a bad taste in their mouth there. I know the 2 coaches do. I think Robert Saleh is going to change some things around. I think he's been amazing over there with all the injuries on San Francisco. He's more than earned his paycheck for this season. And I'm just not a big fan of Darnold. Let's see how he shows up. Minnesota Vikings were the number 1 seed last year. How'd that go?
Oh my God.
So I'm taking San Francisco and the 7 points. Until Sam Darnold can do it and prove me wrong, I'm not putting faith in him. Brock Purdy brought the 49ers to the Super Bowl while he was injured. Well, almost to the Super Bowl.
He played very well last week. He was 18 of 31 for 262 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw 2 INTs. He was only sacked once. He played lights out. And that Robinson kid, the wide receiver, he was phenomenal. I mean, they're a plug and play team, that's for sure. You know, whoever's out there is expected to do their job. So I'm not going to say they can't win. And there's a lot of motivation. 7.5 points. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, I think so. And I have a hard time facing Darnold. As a Bears fan, I think I would rather play Seattle.
Okay.
Hopefully I don't eat humble pie on that one. All right, let's move on to Sunday. Houston Texans versus the New England Patriots. New England is the favorite. They are giving 3 points. They are supposed to win by 3 points against the Houston Texans. Mamma Mia, what are you seeing? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I kind of think this could go either way. I mean, that Houston defense last week, they scored 2 touchdowns. They were just, but I don't know. You look at Pittsburgh and it's like, did they really even belong in the playoffs? Right? So you kind of got to dismiss that. But boy, they knocked the crap out of them. I think they're coming to play hard. I just don't have faith in their offense, and they're missing Nico Collins. I got New England winning 10-6, so I think they're going to cover. And I think it's going to be a big defensive game, obviously, with that low of a score. And Drake May he's going to have to be running, and he can. So I think that's the difference maker. I think the running game is going to be the way that New England takes over this game. But it's gonna be a defensive battle, I feel. How about you?
I think it's going to be a defensive battle as well. I think there's going to be more than 16 points scored. But I'm also taking New England to win by more than 3. I think it's a little interesting. Vrabel in channeling his Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick had 1 million running backs. You never knew what one he was going to play week to week. Vrabel seems to be doing something similar here. You don't know which running back you're going to be playing against. Top of that, Vrabel's obviously a defensive coach. New England
McDaniel.
Yeah, McDaniel. You're right. Well, both of them, but yeah, probably more McDaniel. But New England runs the cover 3 28% of the plays, and the cover 1 23% of plays. C.J. Stroud struggles against these 2 defenses. He has a pretty decent yards per attempt. However, he has a negative 0.4 completion percentage over expectation. So he's not hitting passes that he should be hitting against these types of defenses. And he also does not have Nico Collins now. So I don't expect those numbers to get better with the best offensive player off the field. So I think Stroud struggled last week as well. I think he had 4 turnovers.
Yeah.
He had two picks and 2 fumbles. So the defense carried them. And if New England just holds the ball, they may punt a lot. But I think if they don't turn the ball over, I think the Texans are going to have a hard time moving the ball. I personally don't see the Texans scoring 3 touchdowns. I just don't see that happening. There may not be 3 touchdowns in the game. Now, Christian Kirk, he interests me. I think he's the wild card. Even when Nico was on the field last week, Christian he seemed like the number 1 go-to guy. He ended the game with 8 receptions on 9 targets, 144 yards, and 1 touchdown. He had a 21% target share, even while Nico Collins was on the field. So I'll be looking for him for daily fantasy, or if you have any options of playing fantasy, I think Christian is a viable option. Running the ball in the playoffs is very difficult, and I don't trust Houston's running game at all, let alone in the playoffs against New England on the road in New England. I think Houston's going to throw the ball. I think Higgins, the other wide receiver, I think he's going to get a lot of the coverage. I'm expecting Christian Kirk to be in the slot here. I think he'll get a fair amount of receptions. I don't know if he's going to score a touchdown or have 100 yards, but I think he's going to have a pretty decent game. I don't have a projected score, but we are both on New England to win by more than 3. All right, and now the main event of the evening, the reason that everyone's probably watching this video, 2 lunatics to talk about the Bears. Los Angeles Rams coming into Chicago to play the Chicago Bears, owners of the NFC North, and then disrespecting the Bears and putting them at the underdogs at 4.5 points. We're going to lose by more than a field goal, according to Vegas. Momma Mia, what are you thinking?
Oh, I'm so pumped up. That game last week was so freaking amazing. It was amazing. So, always look on the bright side of life. And this is it. Everything, the stars are aligned. We have our Pope praying for us. Everything is going our way. And Los Angeles Rams don't do very well in the cold weather. Let me see here. What happened here? Anyway, our Iceman is coming, and they are in for it because he just gets heated up, especially in the fourth quarter. And since Soldier Field has opened in 1971, the Rams are 5-11-1 and have lost 4 straight going back to 2003. They're 1-5 after the month of December. The only win was in 1973. Okay. And they're practicing like in some freezer. Like, okay, you think that's going to replicate sub-zero weather? Good luck. Good luck. I don't think our friend Matthew Stafford did very well in outdoor December games. I don't think those were his favorite games. So, and he does have a banged up hand. So go ahead and ice that hand when you're on the sidelines.
It'll be so cold. He's not going to need an ice pack.
Yeah. These coaches, these are 2 fantastic coaches. I think there's going to be some great schemes coming here. And believe me, the weather is going to make a difference. So I am saying the Bears are going to win this game. They're going to start making people believe a little bit because they're going to win 28-17.
28-17. I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
They're going to cover that spread and then some. That's where I'm at. What do you got for us?
So I'm with you. Stafford, he played with the Lions for all those years. He played a fair amount of outdoor games. Now the stat I'm going to throw out there, mind you, the Lions were not a good team when Stafford was over there. But Matthew Stafford on the Lions in the snow, rain, or cold conditions was 1-9. While he played for the Lions, he did not play well in poor environment games. The Lions played in a dome. Matthew Stafford's completion percentage also dropped significantly in those 10 games. Now, since he's been on the Rams, he does have a much higher win percentage in those types of games. I do agree. I think the weather will be a factor. It may not be a factor for Stafford. Potentially Puka Nacua, though. Devontae Adams, he'll be fine. He played in Green Bay outdoor for all those years. He may even be the Rams' leading receiver just because he is so accustomed to these types of environments. But I'm looking more at the special teams. The Rams, the weather has been like 79, 78 degrees these past couple days. I have read reports that the Rams are practicing in a freezer. I don't know how you're kicking field goals and doing punt coverages in a freezer. I mean, they probably have figured that out, but there's no wind in a freezer. Well, probably not the type of wind that's going to be off the lake. I did find an interesting stat that the Rams have the number one kickoff special teams, but they have the second to worst punt coverage in the NFL. That is in part to the Rams with the new kickoff rule. Rams were the first team to start using what's been called the dirty kick. It's basically a kick that bounces around in the landing zone. Rams were the first team to do that, but they have not been great at punt coverage. And then on top of that, let's see how this Rams kicker does in this cold with the wind coming off the lake. It is going to be windy. I think the special teams is going to be a big factor here. Running the ball typically translates in the NFL. I don't feel like run games translate in the playoffs. I think running the ball in playoffs is very difficult. I'm still picking Swift to have more rushing yards than Williams. However, I don't see... I'm hoping Swift is on the field more than Monangai in this game by a considerable amount. I have a lot more faith at this point in Swift. And then as for the coaches, you mentioned the coaches. Matt LaFleur's brother is on the Rams coaching staff, Mike LaFleur. So Ben Johnson doesn't like Matt. I'm assuming he doesn't like Mike. So if he can knock out both LaFleur brothers in back-to-back games in the playoffs, that's just an added bonus here. I'm taking the Bears to win. I think this number is disrespectful. Home field advantage is supposed to be 3 points, so they're saying that the Bears are actually a touchdown underdog in this game if it was at a neutral field. Vegas obviously doesn't know that Tike and Momma Mia are going to be at this game, losing our minds. That is worth
eating Lou Malnati's pizza.
Eating Lou Malnati's pizza. That is worth a touchdown at least in itself. I'm taking the Bears to win. I think the defense has to step up. The defense has to hold the Rams to under 24 points. I think if the Rams score more than 24 points, I'm going to be worried. Just like last week, I said if Swift does not have 15 carries, I was going to be worried. I was so worried in that game last week, I actually had to turn it off and pause it 2 separate times just to clear my head. I had to get away from my phone so nothing got spoiled. And then I did look at the final score, and then I was able to watch the game in peace. But I could not watch the game live. I couldn't handle it. This week, I will not have a choice. I'm taking the Bears to win. I'm going to take 27-24. Go Bears.
Well, this is one interesting thing, too. The Bears are the only NFC team not coming from the West Division.
That is interesting.
In the playoffs. So it's up to them to carry the banner and knock these guys out.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, either the division was very tough or it was very weak. Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
All right,
Go
everyone.
Bears.
The Bears. The Bears.
Bears.
Let's go. All right, everyone. We will see you for the semifinal NFL Conference Playoff Championships.
Take care.